welcome to Fantasy Pavilion, your home for fantasy sports.
Welcome back to the Fantasy Pavilion, your home for fantasy sport. And of course, another sport, another fantasy. We're here to discuss F1 fantasy. And of course, I'm joined by my co host, Antonio. We should be joined by the panel in a bit. But of course, we will hold on the fort by the time. Antonio, 1 a.m., Melbourne, Australia, Albert Park. Well, 1 a.m. for us, I should say. Were you awake, sir? Or were you caught napping?
I was barely up. My my girlfriend was over, so it was an early bedtime for me. I tried to stay up though. I really try, but it came up. But I did get to see a part of the Saturday for the positioning.
The qualifier. Yeah.
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 It was good.
Yeah, it was. It
Um,
was.
Things were expected. That's how I expected it to be. The race, however, on the Sunday was interesting because I think we were all surprised with Russell coming in clutch for Mercedes podium. I mean, we all predicted Leclerc was gonna win again. I think he's on best form right now.
Yeah.
But
Correct.
I like Russell because Russell has also been sure that he is creeping up and he's consistent. Within the points in the fantasy, he is consistent with the points. So even when it comes to position on the Saturdays, when he has to qualify qualifiers, he makes points. And when in the race, and he still makes he steals between that fifth and sixth gap. He never drops below that. And he come and make podium. So like if I feel like if you had him in the get go till now and you had the like curve, you would have been pretty much solid in the fantasy, to be honest. I didn't have him, unfortunately. I wanted to bring in a F1 Mercedes asset. I had Hamilton in the earlies, but I sold them after this first game, wait, first race, sorry. And I went with full Ferrari boys down to the constructor as well. So I don't regret because they've been bringing the points, except for Carlos. I think a lot of us suffered with the Carlos signs
Yeah.
this
Correct.
this race
Correct.
where they got -5 because
Correct.
he spent out. But he will bounce back from that, man. Ferrari they have a good car. It's just he just had a little problem the week of with the car. So hopefully bounce back for that in the Baku,
No, Italy.
Italy. Sorry, yeah,
Yeah,
hopefully
yeah, you're rushing the Baku. Boy. Everybody want back.
Baku, Russian the Baku.
Rushing that Baku.
I
Boy.
have
The
a
day we
plan for the
jump out
Baku. I have a
Lewis.
plan for the Baku. That's right.
I know that. I know that. You jump in Lewis like ton of bricks. I know that. I will be honest with you. This was the first race that I actually watched whole of the qualifier. I watch any part of the qualifier. I don't ever get to watch the qualifier because of the time. I wish all the races could be this time. This is my office hours. I can live it at 2 a.m. qualifier, 1 a.m. race. It was beautiful. I got to watch everything. I didn't miss a beat. First time in the race too, I get to see the actual pull off because normally I almost there a little late. I got to watch everything, or as I said, all the qualifiers. The qualifier to me was just as good as the race. It was real action. It was enjoying. It was good. It was really really good, and it give you a good chance of who to put your bets on and put your money on for the race.
Yeah.
But the thing with F1 is so unpredictable because anything could happen. Anything could happen. Your driver could be doing well in the start. 10 more laps to go, first place or second place, and all of a sudden, a line burst, tire something happened, or someone hit him, or there's an accident, and then safety cars have to come in, so that throw him off. A lot could happen. But it was a fairly, I must say, it was a fairly decent race, safe race. We have our fraud, our professional fraud has joined us. Let me get everything out of the way. Russell was the better driver, right? Russell is the best. Let's get it out of the way one time. Russell, right now he could take the stage and break down. I love that they can hear us in the background and they can't respond. I love it. And of course, we're joined by Michael, our resident Mercedes slash McLaren in your heart expert, right? Big up Russell, big up
I
Michael all
was
the time.
McLaren myself, boy.
Right. I know. I just joking. Big up Ferrari in your heart all the time. But how you going, bro? We know now. Just talking about the race. How was getting up for you? I was just saying I love that time. I wish all the races could be 1 a.m. I will never miss a race. Telling you.
Almost
That's my
Nah,
office
boy.
hours.
That,
That's the first
that
time I
was
watch a
special.
qualifying full, Michael. First time I watch a full qualifier.
Serious.
Like,
Nah,
telling
but
you.
I watch Q1, Q2, and I cap out for Q3. Then because now my hours, I'm waking up at 5:30 every morning to get ready for work. I'm going to sleep and it's still 1 o'clock every day. So I'm getting on average, my smartwatch will tell you, I get on average 5 hours sleep so much.
Right.
And
I envy you.
now boy, work just be so draining sometimes. And then last weekend I assisted at a play. So I was a stagehand, put out 200 chairs in the morning. So I lift up all that, and then I went to to silver training, and then rushed back home to go back to work for that. So by the time I reached home Saturday evening, I was tired. I forced myself to stay up, and I'm not ashamed to say I probably watched the first 2 laps and I fall asleep. I wake up 3:30, and there is no. I saw when signs crash out. That was like what
Right.
lap 3. So I saw up
Yeah,
to
it was
that
pretty
point, and then
early.
after that, I was
Yeah.
like, shit.
Yeah, boy. Yeah,
I was
well, we
like,
now
nah,
going to break down the
signs
points and
mash up the
everything.
weekend.
Yeah, boy. Science must everybody fantasy for sure. But we'll
For
talk about that
real.
later. We don't care about fantasy right now. It's about the actual F1.
The race itself,
Um,
yeah.
yeah, the race itself. So I've the stand. But before we get into but you got to rewatch the race though, of course.
No, I didn't want to rewatch the whole race. I watched the highlights.
All right, no problem. But overall, what was the
I don't know
consensus from?
where to get the full race though.
That's the things I'm done. Well, because I followed your advice now, boy. I bought the one app.
Yeah, for subscription.
Yeah, I bought a little one device.
I had to do that.
Try it.
I had to do that.
Yeah. Only because of the content creating. Because I'm creating content now, I try my best. Like I'll ask Antonio. I remember before the football, I was trying to stream it when we just started. I was like, you know what, this not making sense. I called the Giselle on the phone while watching a game, and the lady said, "Don't worry, we can upgrade it now." Cause I didn't take out sports now. And within 30
Right.
minutes, Antonio just in time for it was I think a big game, City playing somebody real big, and then as the so that way now can keep up, keep updated and watching. So I try my best to
And
keep
you know,
updated with that, the cricket, everything. I watch cricket at work because I have my coworker watches that work, so I watch it with them. So because of the content creating, it forces you to get
yeah,
into it
yeah.
and find a way to don't miss a beat.
And
You
it's
can't
what
miss a beat.
500 is 500 for the subscription.
No, I paid the 7 something just for like the one device or 7 something. I'm on
700
6.99 or some kind of
something.
something. No, 6.99. No, you
Oh, for the month.
6.99 come to.
No, I know.
Yeah.
I looking for a year subscription.
Oh no. Me about that life right now.
Nah, I studying to do the
But
year
it
subscription.
I must say that app is one of the best things I've ever seen in my life. Wow. It's comprehensive.
It
You
is.
get to rewatch, you get all the interviews, everything. I think the best advice, watch season 1 of Drive to Survive and then get this app and you're good to go. And you will never miss a beat. Trust me, you'll be in the know. You'll be a professional F1 analyst by the time you
Bro,
finish it. Nah, telling you, I love it. Because your phone, your TV. That's why now I could watch my football. I can watch the football on TV, watch this on the laptop, and I don't miss a beat on Sundays. But I'm really upset that we have to go back now to normal times, 9 a.m. I really love the 1
Ah,
a.m.
don't worry, we go catch some late races.
I think what Japan I think is at 2 a.m. or something like that too.
No, well, we do have I don't think we have a Japanese race.
We have a Japan that is, I think I saw some one of them in Asia is quite some mad time. I was like, right, I can live with that time. I think Miami might be 3 p.m. if I'm not mistaken. I think Miami.
Yeah, Miami is in the afternoon because that's the same time as us. So that's a flick. I happy for Miami. I need a crew to watch Miami with.
We can bust a line here. We can bust a line for that.
Yeah.
So, how you want to start the standings? You want to start from the bottom? I mean, we won't go through the whole thing, but of course, there's some notable mentions of people at DMF.
Yeah, start with our notable DNF.
A notable DNF, right? So Vettel, of course. Vettel is the biggest person that...
Is he? Is he now?
No, let me make a shock. Y'all didn't jam in the group. I'm really shocked because, as y'all may recall, I put Vettel in my team.
Mm-hmm.
But
He
5 minutes.
He crashed in Q1.
5 minutes. No. Friday, when I saw that incident with the scooter or the bike or whatever it is that he was doing, I say, you know what? No. And I swapped him out and I brought in Alonso. Not the best switch, but I mean, whatever.
Oh, so we calling people frauds, but you're swapping drivers and thing at one little mistake.
No, well, I mean, I tell you, my gut. Antonio like to say, about my gut. You understand? My team will look one way too, and then when I get my gut feeling, I just switch out. But of course, in most notable.
Sorry? He get for riding this scooter on the track.
So one more time, you find what? Yeah.
He get a fine for driving on the track with his scooter. I think it's 10.
Yeah, with the scooter. Yeah.
Yeah.
Which is what? A slap on the wrist for them. Yeah.
Yeah, that's pocket change.
But of course, the most notable DNF has to be, of course, your favorite driver to hate, Max Verstappen. Not hate, just joking, but Max Verstappen, of course, and of course, Carlos Sainz, which was really shocking because as we in lap one. And it's such a rookie way he do it too now, boy. Yes. Because let's be real now, Latifi. Now, of course, your favorite racer caused it. Let me don't do that. Sorry. Latifi doing Latifi things on the side, right? On the side, doing Latifi things. Right? Latifi things. And then, but Sainz, but to be fair, Latifi got out the way. He got out the way. So I don't know what the hell was going on there with Sainz. I really don't know what was going on there.
I feel it was the pressure, the pressure that Charles put it on him. He's starting to realize as a number 2 boy.
But what's wrong with that? Look at Russell. Russell's number 2, but number 1 in Lewis. You understand? What's wrong with that? But we'll get there. I can't wait to talk about that. I can't wait to talk about Russell. But let's take our time. You're rushing the brush, man. I can't wait to talk about the better Mercedes driver. I'm sorry. I can't wait. Anyway, so moving along. I want to talk about Mr. Fernando Alonso, Michael.
Mm-hmm.
I feel real sorry for him. He qualifying didn't go well. And not to say it was his detriment, his fault or anything. It was just a unforeseen error. I really feel sorry for him. And the same thing here in the race itself. And he was doing well. He was 4th at a point in time in the race.
Serious?
Yeah. He was 4th. Up there with the big boss. Alonso win. The commentators were very excited. They were getting nostalgia moments, because of course, he's the most experienced one of, have to be fair, yeah. So everyone was happy and it was nice to see. It was just nice to see. And then all of a sudden, no boy, it just wasn't meant to be. I feel real sorry for him. It was a tough one, but I'm glad he's safe. I'm glad it wasn't anything, detrimental or fatal. I'm just glad. I'm glad everyone's safe. All the drivers. Yeah, it was nothing too bad. It was just minor, just right on the side. Nothing terrible. Yeah, nothing terrible.
Because he had a big accident that time when he.
But I must say the engineering of these vehicles as of late saving people's lives, boy. Saving people's lives.
So we can skip a few, of course, the TP don't TP things, man. So let's talk about our top 10 go up. So Alexander Albon drove a great
Yeah.
race. He was in a good fight because at a point in time it was Stroll and Zhou and Magnussen were all, and you must know they were all fighting for at least 9, 10, 8. And it was a decent battle. But Albon held
Okay.
on. And I don't know if you got to see the videos of them celebrating. It was real nice. It was real. I'm glad for them. It was like if they won the championship.
For Williams,
I know it
yeah.
means plenty. Yeah, but it means plenty. You know, I wouldn't downplay it at all. It was real nice to see. It was like watching Haas when Haas got the first 2 good points in the first 2 races. It was like that. It was
Yeah.
real nice to see. It was nice.
Nah, and
The whole
Williams
team.
started off on the back foot. So
Yeah.
to get
Yeah.
some points, it's
Exactly.
starting to look like,
Exactly.
you know,
Exactly.
we're not
Exactly.
as
So I
far
think
back as we thought we were.
yeah, exactly. And there's some decent guys that they came out, and then to see the people who DNF and for them to survive. Hey, taking that.
Yeah, for
Of
sure.
course, Gasly in 9th, right, with the Alpha Turi. So not too bad again. Gasly coming back consistent, doing his thing, getting some points. Bottas again, consistent amongst the points. Can't count him out.
Antonio smiling,
You know?
Antonio smiling.
Yes, of course, but I have to put a smile on Antonio's face. My boy, Esteban Ocon, Mr.
Esteban.
Consistent, doing his thing, finishing with that mid-table range. They all consistently taking that, not vexed at all. Then, of course, the McLarens. Now, while the race was going on, Michael, there was a
Mhm.
point where, so at the same point when I told you, Alonso would have been fourth. Let's say it would have been probably Alonso, Russell Hamilton. There was just this orange blob, just hunting Russell, hunting. If you see how this thing was looking, because the two of them right behind each other and they're just going. I must say it was good to see McLaren back in the action, back where they're supposed to be amongst the mid-tier fighting. It was real good. I'm glad that it appeared that they got most of the mechanical issues
I don't think so.
settled, or at
think
least
they got lucky.
right, fine, or at least it didn't give any trouble in this particular race, this particular track. But I was really glad to see. But it was nice. I don't know if your highlights would have showed it out, but in the race, the way that it was just a blob just coming behind Russell. It
I
looks
think
so
why
cool.
it is why McLaren did as well as it did this weekend. Australia is a very, after the changes that they make, it has no very intensive braking points. So there are very few. I think of the, I think is what, 12 or 13 corners, only 2 or 3 of them are quote unquote heavy braking zones. The rest of it is flat out or near flat out. So you remember their biggest issue was their braking. So in a lap that where they have to brake less, they'll generally do better. So that's in my opinion the only reason they that high up. But let's go to, and then Imola is Temple of Speed, so it's gonna be another track that will favor them because they don't have to be on the brakes as much. But get to something like Monaco or Monaco, Baku, where you're on the brakes, then we go see them struggle like they do in the earlier races. But good for them. I'm happy to see them where they are. I actually put Lando in my team. So
Right, smart guy.
yeah,
I told you to be
I happy
patient.
for
I
them.
told you all to be patient. Fantasy is a thing you have to be patient.
Patient,
Right.
yeah.
Do you think though? You think the reduction of the amount of DRS helped too? Taking away one of the DRS zones helped, or changing it? I should say.
I don't think it made a massive difference. It probably, I don't know. I can't say for sure because I don't see exactly how it would have changed the results. I think maybe you might have 1 or 2 more passes, but I feel like it would not change the outcome of the race to some big extent.
Fine. All right. So going up the road now. So we spoke about the best driver here, Esteban Ocon. So let's just talk about the others. So of course, Ricardo and Norris doing well. Boy. So your boy. So at a point in time, he was third, right? He was. Then there was a point
Right
in
off
time.
the start. Right off the
Right.
start. my
Yeah, and
boy.
off the start, he had a great start. He had a real good start.
Perfect
Let me
start
be
by
real.
the end of lap.
Be real. He had a
When man
real
was
good
in
start.
the biggest-
I'm giving it that. He had a real good read. And Sainz had a terrible start. So I see, so all that I think contributed, to Sainz. But We're not going back
But
there.
I think Sainz
But
started
there was
to go
a.
down the order anyway. Because it
But
was
to be fair,
Leclerc,
right?
um, Verstappen,
Max. Yeah.
then Norris, I think. No,
Yes,
oh
Norris was pretty high. Because
yeah,
I
Norris.
using Norris and Perez, but it was pretty high. No, Perez had to come back. Perez had to come back. Perez had to come back because Perez was behind. Because how I remember it too, Perez was chasing Russell. Got Russell. It was
Yeah,
a nice little battle. Then, not Russell, sorry, Hamilton. Chasing Hamilton, got Hamilton. Then now, so it would have been Leclerc, Max, Russell, Perez, right? So Russell in third, comfortable, zooming along. Perez coming behind him, gunning him. But I must say, Russell defended well, did everything well.
mhm,
And then a particular communication came across the intercom that upset my soul and Russell's soul. I think I doubt I was as mad as he was, obviously, but woo, right? Words to the effect, I don't want to misquote on anybody before, but words to the effect, just manage it. Focus on management, not placement. Don't be pushing so hard. Da, 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 da. So Russell was like, but that's not something I want to hear right now. What the hell?
mhm.
The man was doing good. Because in my mind, and the commentator said the same thing I was thinking. Mercedes not having the best start, not doing well in the qualifying, but you have someone in podium position right now, and you're not
Right.
encouraging them to try and do the thing. Because remember, to me, no, you will explain it better and break it down better for you.
Mhm.
But for me, from an untrained eye, I'm thinking, okay, Perez have all to lose now. Yes, he could get DRS and overtake and all that, no problem. But Perez is the
Right.
one pushing hard, messing up his
Mhm.
tires more than Russell. I don't know if the chaser messes up more, the defender messes up more, but I guess depending on how you defend and depending on how you attack. But to me,
Mhm.
Perez is the one who will be, and I don't think Russell pitted yet. So I think maybe all that they were studying, of course. But Perez
Right.
gunning just was in a battle with from at least from fifth place in a battle Russell. I mean Lewis, sorry, but a battle Norris coming up, and then now it's a battle the person in third, and then you would have had to go now and battle Max. So all that I was studying with him and Russell, if Russell kept him at bay for as long as he could,
Mhm.
probably he could have run down his tires and had to force him to pit, and then Russell could have gained a little more, maybe even pit at that time, and then go back out and keep the lead on him. Something. So I was
Yeah.
thinking. I don't know if
But
you can explain
what
why the group, the team would have told him that.
because we had to understand the position of Mercedes, and we are not. We do have the fastest car. We have the third fastest car at best. At very best, we have the third fastest car, and I can admit that.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Um,
Mm-hmm.
so we know for a fact that our end game that we're gonna win a race purely on luck or on circumstance. We are currently in a position whereby we're gonna win a race if Max take out Charles or Max take out Sainz and something like that happens. Or something had to happen for us to be able to win. But we're not gonna win on pure pace. So I guess Mercedes wanted to play that waiting game, so to speak. Stay close to the front, but don't get mixed up. Because we're trying to do the damage limitation as well. So far, Red Bull has not finished, at least with Max. Max hasn't finished 2 of the 3 races we've had so far for this season.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Perez hasn't finished 1 of the 3. Mercedes is currently second in the constructors championship, simply because we may not have the fastest car, but we're consistently in the top 10.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
as somebody was saying it, the tortoise has win the race sometimes,
Yeah. Correct.
So maybe in us being consistent and always finishing, that might give us the ability to beat, say, Red Bull or Ferrari in the championship, God forbid, that say they start crashing into each other or they get hit with a mechanical or DNS and stuff. So I think that's where Mercedes' mindset is right now. Until it is we sort out the car and we know we have the pace, play the waiting game. The car good enough to pull off in 5th and 6th, 4th, 5th and 6th, that little there, stay there as much as possible. If you see a chance of opportunity to get into third, sure, that's yours. And that's how Russell ended up on the podium this weekend. He did not end up on that podium because he fight for his fit.
Yeah.
He ended up on that podium because Max DNF. playing to a
True.
bad manners. So that's why I
And
would
it's the
see
same thing with
that
Lewis
driver.
in the first race. Same thing with
Exactly
Lewis
the
in the
exact
first race. Yeah.
same thing with
Yeah.
Lewis in the first
Yeah.
race.
Yeah.
So
For real.
and
For real.
that's it.
Yeah.
It's understanding where Mercedes is right now, the kind of game they're playing at, and then look, we're trying to sort out our problems. We need our money as much as possible to push into R&D, to manufacture new parts and whatever. We don't want to be paying for a crash. So you go and playing Starboy fighting Perez. Perez touch a wheel, you end up in the wall. That's a bill of car that we had to fix now. That's parts that we're gonna have to shell out when it is we could be using that money and them parts to bring an upgrade to the car. Or you do something like that. And we don't do the fastest car, so it's easier them to make up ground. Them starting
Correct.
10th, they will reach up to 5th more or less easily. We start in 10th. Lewis proved that it's not going to be a walk in the park.
Right. Solid.
So
Fair enough.
I think that's why it is their two limit. Yes, he finally in a Mercedes, he finally in a chance thing. He finally get a taste of the podium by coming third. So he wants more, but I think he needs to be patient. Just as they say, fantasy is a race of patience. Right now, Mercedes is in a position whereby you need to be patient. Give them their time, let them figure out the car, and then they will tell you race as much as you want. You want to fight Lewis? Take a little fight with Lewis. Let him embarrass you.
These Lewis sycophants, boy. Oh, Lord. Up till now, you congratulate Russell. Russell drew. Oh,
No,
Russell
no,
drew
no,
a great race.
No, I give.
Let me hear.
I didn't say that. I give him his props. He came to it. I'm happy for him.
Nah, the
At
man
the
race
end of
real
the day,
good, man.
as a team man, so once Mercedes winning, I'm happy.
Yeah, yeah.
Whether
yeah,
it's Lewis, whether it's George, I'm happy for George because he's a young driver. He has a great future ahead of him. He has a lot of talent, and he's young. I think George and
Yeah.
I like the same age. George is 24, 25,
Yeah.
and Lewis is nearly knocking 40. So clearly, George has at least 10 plus years in the sport. God
Yeah.
forbid anything
Yeah.
happens along
God
the
bless him. Yeah. God bless him.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he has
yeah,
10
yeah,
years in
yeah.
the sport to go on and make things. So I think he in a position right now. Behave yourself. Learn as much as you can from Lewis. Get a proper understanding of the team. Yes, he's always been there. He's always been a Mercedes driver, so he knows everyone and thing. But just play your role. Keep it calm. Let Lewis
But you
get
do
his
think you do
will
you know
step away and you can take
you
over.
do think though that compared to some of the no, let me say this very carefully, yeah? I'm
Mm-hmm.
not comparing anything because again, anything could happen. It just so happened it's working out for him right now because he could
Right.
have a tragic 5 game street race, terrible, da, 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 da. But
Mm-hmm.
for someone that was nicknamed Mr. Saturday, for someone that of course supposed to be in the shadow of Lewis, not saying anything, but of course Lewis is Lewis. Let's be real.
Yeah.
No one can become. You could come and win next street. I'm saying you still can't be in the same conversation with Lewis. You can't,
You're not
right?
going
Just
to
be
be
real.
exactly. Yeah.
But forgetting Lewis, forgetting Perez, Leclerc, and Max maybe, right? Oh, and right, let's look at the others. Compared to some of the other experienced drivers and some of them who were the switch teams and are now the main drivers for the team.
Mm-hmm.
You do think that are you impressed with the level of let me what you would want to say maturity and the level of focus that Russell is showing and the level of
Yeah.
and the way that he's handling and the way he's handling the adversities that the car is going through.
Yeah, I would give him full props. He's doing well. And then too, as you said it like that, he left Williams where he was the number one because at the end of the day he was partners with Latifi, who he beats every weekend. So for him now to come leaving a team as number one to then go to a team to be number two, it is some level of transition, but at the same time, I think being number one in a lower team is worse than being number two in a better team. I would prefer to
agree.
be number two in a Mercedes than be number one in a Williams any day.
No, I agree. And
Because
I just
number
think that
two in a
he's
Mercedes still going to get you a
Yeah.
third place at the
I
end
agree.
of the day.
I agree. And I think he's taking it very well. I just impressed by him. I just really impressed him. I thought I
He's
explained
doing well.
how
I
much.
think
Yeah.
my thing I
Yeah.
just
I'm not saying
want to
anything
get
about him better. I just
overconfident.
harassing him, but I just
Yeah, I know
impressed
that.
at how he just come out of nowhere. At least for me, because I'm not familiar. He come out of
Mhm.
nowhere and he just doing his thing. But I really
And
impressed.
he's always been a, quote unquote mature driver.
Right.
How people will
Right.
call
Right.
Max
Right.
rash, and he whine and he's
Right.
aggressive.
Right.
Right.
From the start, George has always been a bit more quote unquote calculated. He
Right.
goes for an overtake when he says he can get the overtake. He doesn't,
Right.
not to say he doesn't take risk, but he don't drive dotish, so to speak.
Yeah, that is
Except
it.
for that
And
time he
that is
crashed
it.
into
And that's
Bottas.
it.
Except for that time he crashed into Bottas, he drives very smart.
Yeah. And that's what I say. I was really impressed the way he defended Perez for as much as he could. Because I mean, it was Perez. And I want to talk about Perez now.
And the Red Bull
Perez,
faster. The Red Bull
bro,
is
that was it.
faster.
And that was it for someone battling a car. Because when Alonso was battling people in the race, he was like, you know what? I not even better than he get him the little thing and then he tried to catch him with the DRS. That was Alonso game. He was letting you go, try to catch you with DRS and then come. That was Alonso was doing the whole race. He know he couldn't fight up with some of those cars that
Right.
was chasing him. Couldn't. But I must say, Russell used the width of the track well, used the turns well, and try his best because he had a slow down at some point. So he tried to
Yeah.
do that to catch Perez a little bit. He tried, but where's Red Bull? Larry really couldn't.
Yeah,
keep
the
up
Red Bull have a
with
better
that.
car pace
Right.
wise.
Exactly. And Tim and Antonio brought up a point. Remember when we asked a really good question for the fantasy? He was asking who, because I know you was saying that this track was a little wider and it also is not as it wasn't as fast as Jeddah, but what he was asking, and I like that, was who are the guys that are very good at overtaking and who are aggressive, who are the aggressive guys. Now I've never seen
Yeah.
Perez drive so aggressive, but he was not in a bad way, but not in a max way. He wasn't max aggressive, but he
Yeah.
was in a I
He
want to
wanted it.
podium aggressive. Yeah. You know, and it was really good to see. He worked hard in that race. If it wasn't, I mean, obviously Leclerc won the race, but I give Perez drive of the race for me, and then Russell second because Leclerc, no problem. But Perez, from where he was and overtaking and coming up, and he didn't cause any accident. He was responsible, doing his thing, using the RS zones wisely. Again, from a noob watching, it was a real good
was
race from
nice.
Perez. I was really impressed from Perez. Perez did a
And the
real
other
good
thing
job.
about Perez's position in the team, because
Exactly.
as much as he is now, in my opinion, the Bottas to Max, he's now he's now the Red Bull wingman. Like Bottas, he had his weekends where he shined, but also too, Red Bull is a very ruthless team. You do the little, we kick you out.
Yeah.
So
Right.
as much as
Right.
you're wingman to Max, you had to perform on a very high level as well.
Yes.
So
Yes.
it's just
Consistent
him,
level.
exactly. So it's also him just proving his worth, so to speak. And that's why maybe some weekends he might be more aggressive because, I don't know, Christian might be wild when it is they had an engineering meeting. Christian might be like, Checo, we're watching our options here. And Checo will be like, oh, okay, cool. And he then go out and put on a performance like that. We don't know. But
Yeah,
I think
yeah.
that's partially why, because we know that Checo has the potential. He's only now in a car that could actually do something or do something real.
Right.
So yeah, he has to exploit that as much as possible, but also we need to just understand that he's going up against the second best driver in the sport at the moment.
Yeah. Correct. And of course, we have to talk about Charles Leclerc, or we could move away from this graphic and we could show
Charles.
this graphic here. So for now, this is the current standings overall.
Look at where George is. Look at where
Look
George is.
at where George is.
In our
Beautiful.
third place Mercedes.
In a unfinished, unupgraded Mercedes.
Exactly.
Right? If unupgraded is a word, right? In a non, right? In a downgraded, as I say, right? In a a custom, not even a stock, a stock.
And look at that, sir.
Look at
Red
that.
Bull, who have so much pace, only have one kind in top 5.
So, yeah,
The two
not even top 3.
Mercedes in it, and that is why people say, "Oh, the car is the fastest, is the best car." Thing.
No, is it all about?
Consistency.
You could have
As
the
much as
fastest
they-
car. The driver have to be able to know how to control that speed. Speed is a
Exactly.
demon, you know. Speed is a demon. Let me be
Exactly.
real. Let me be
Big
real.
facts.
And you
And
have
the
to
second
be
you
able to
fall out with
control.
that demon, he will bite
That's it.
you.
And Max uses that demon in an aggressive way, and Charles does it in a very what's the word I'm looking for, boy?
mean 2 seconds
Charismatic way, in a nice way, you know.
in a real awesome way. So I really do understand what it is people like to fight along for. But Antonio, boy, what that table telling you, boy? Oh, your team, are your team reflected, your fantasy team reflected in that table?
Well, I have the top four guys on my team, and Ocon. But yeah, I mean, right now I get the new points that I expected. I actually watched I was watching the practice for this race in particular, and I knew Magnussen was a must sell because he wasn't performing at all in practice.
Mm-hmm.
So that's why I ended up swapping on Magnussen, and I brought in who did I bring in? I brought in Perez. Yeah, I brought in Perez.
Goodbye.
I so yeah, because I made I sent up selling Verstappen,
Mhm.
bringing in Perez, and I had extra money, and I doubled up with the Ferrari guys. But Ferrari guys paid off. I mean, I had look as my turbo driver, but at the same time, I think most of us got the -5 for Carlos Sainz. So
Yeah, definitely.
that's
Sign.
very important. But I mean, that happens. You would expect a driver with that caliber to get points up most of the time, and he was doing good
Yeah,
in
yeah,
qualifiers. It's
yeah.
just on the day itself when he was qualifying, they do off him. I think he placed ninth in qualify. He started from ninth, if I'm not mistaken, on the day race day itself. Yeah, that's the look of him on the run race itself, to be honest. But I was expecting it to bounce back, hopefully. If not, I will look at looking at it. I'm looking at the McLaren boys, but as Michael was saying too, they are solely dependent on tracks that aren't fully dependent on brakes, because that's where they have fast acceleration and not so much best at braking. So you have to look at tracks that are more preferable to them in that
Yeah.
aspect.
Yeah.
Whereas
The blind corners, those tracks are not there. No, they're not suited for those kind of tracks. Yeah, like Jeddah
That's something to look. That's something to look at too.
To factor in. Yeah.
So most definitely for the next race, I'm gonna be taking that into consideration because I have Lando Norris on one of my teams, and I have the McLaren car, so I'll be watching for that. But the consistent guys that pulling me through with points, Ocon has been top 10 every week.
Yeah, can't go wrong.
Bottas has been top 10.
True. Can't go wrong.
Yeah, George Russell has been bringing in the points as you were saying just now.
Yeah,
so I mean, I was telling you earlier off the off chat that Russell is the best bet if you want to have anything in Mercedes, but to save the money to get other racers, because he is the cheapest. He's way cheaper than the constructor itself. So I would think now is the time to run in for him, because as you can see, he's consistent with the points. He will make position 5 and 6. He can make points for you on qualifying day, and in races he make podium. So I feel like now is the time to grab him, because as you see, his price will go up, and it'll be hard to retain him if you're trying to sell the wide drivers to try to get him eventually. So yeah, but I want to get him though, because I want to keep a Mercedes driver, and I can't afford Hamilton, and I feel like Russell is the better driver of the two right now.
Oh right, yeah.
We go for him.
Consistent, most consistent. Yeah.
I just go with the eye test. What I see.
Yes, that's it. And he's doing really well. I mean, look at this. I mean, results don't lie. Right? He's second overall right now. The results don't lie. Do you think though? I mean, of course, we're looking at it from amateur eye. We're not still in this sport. Do you think that is a foregone conclusion? Ferrari, Leclerc's going away with the race, with the GP, with the whole championship, or would you say in 4 more races if he does the same thing then?
See, if I better to say 4 more races, because I feel like 2 bad races, and Russell can catch him.
Yeah.
So, because podium and Russell up there with him already, and if he has 2 bad races, look how Sainz spin off and this force him, and look where Perez is and look where Russell is. These guys were on top of the game, and Russell is second still. And these men make podium, and Russell even make podium.
And Russell podium once, exactly.
Yeah. So that's the show.
Exactly.
As Michael was saying is that's the consistency and the timing for Mercedes right now. Like
Yeah.
wait until and take a moment. Like fix your car, increase if you had increase speed or whatever throughout the season, but keep at a consistent level where you know you're in a gap to catch the person on the front here. And I think that's what they're doing right now.
Yeah.
Until
Michael,
Damage
you want to
limited
weigh in
they
on?
call it.
You want to weigh in on that one, Michael?
Yeah,
Too early to say that Charles
it's
take it
way
away
too
and
early.
done foregone conclusion. How much races they giving him? Like, if he has 4 more races just like this, just like because we didn't
I
talk much
still won't
about
say
him,
he
but
running away with it. Or if he
I
goes
don't want to
into the
say.
summer
Mm,
break
mm,
with something like 100-point lead, 150-point lead, then it might be safe to say, okay, Charles taking the championship. But F1 is such a weird sport. He could be going good like this because Ferrari in the past, look at because you all started watching Drive to Survive. Think back to when Vettel was there. Ferrari will be fighting Mercedes tooth and nail for the first half of the season. Then second half of the season will come. And it will either be Mercedes bring upgrades that just blow Ferrari out the water, or Ferrari sort of struggle with the reliability, or something started to happen. Think back to when it was Vettel fighting Lewis. They would fight for the first half of the season. Ferrari might be winning, they might say, yes, we're taking it. And then boom, second half of the season is our newbies come out from Mercedes. So whether that's a testament to Mercedes' will to fight or their ability to fight, could also be a testament to Ferrari in the sense that, yeah, they might have a good start at the season, they might come out strong, but they will lose their breath after a while. And then I would say at this stage, yes, okay, he has 71 points, George is 37 points. He DNF for one race, and George comes second, has 18 points, and he next to him. Well, not next to him, but he
yes,
closes
yes,
that gap.
yes, the gap.
George, let's say George wins a race, or Lewis wins.
25.
Let's say George wins a race, or better yet, let's do a very real situation. We in Imola. Imola is a very fast track.
Right.
Well, I really think a Monza is a very fast track, but Imola is a nice track. He and Max battling at Imola. He and Max crash. Sainz having a bad weekend, so he's starting off in 10th or something, so he's fighting his way back up. So that means Mercedes' only real challenge is Perez. You put Perez under some pressure and he might crack. Then next thing you know, you have a 1-2 Mercedes.
Facts.
You never know. You have rain coming to the thing, the Ferrari decide to pit late. Somebody slide off the track, Sainz, okay, fine. Sainz take his wets, he slide off the track with softs. All that, and that's why I say Formula One is such a unpredictable sport. Because you have all these different variables. You have these engines that performing at such a high level that for them to not perform at such a high level is not very hard to believe. Look at Red Bull, for example. Then it is you have the chances of battling and fighting, because look at the gaps that these guys race at, whether they're behind each other or they are the side of each other, is sometimes millimeters apart that these guys' tires are.
Correct.
Anything could happen. You and I, we driving on the highway, a man coming too close to you on your lane, you're blowing your horn, you and see already.
Yeah, facts.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So, and that's at us going at 100. Far less to these guys who are going 250, 300.
Yeah. 300,
So
exactly.
it's just the margin for error is so small, and that's why I'll say at this point in time, it's still a very wide open race. Because Mercedes could bring an upgrade to Imola, and next thing you know, we miles down the road. Or we right there with Ferrari and we giving it to them.
No, this is our constructor standings. So it's still reflective of what happening, kind of, with the guys, kind of, not really, because Red Bull up there too. So Ferrari, Mercedes, Red Bull, McLaren. So again, something to consider with the fantasy. You know, the constructors are doing well, bringing in the points. Right, something to think about. But yeah, big up Ferrari all the time doing anything. And as you rightfully said, no, I keep saying something, and I remember I think Kevin was saying I'm making the song too easy, but Lewis could win 4 straight races and be right back up on top of it. As,
Exactly.
it as easy as that. It is.
All
Because
they
as you
had to do
rightfully
is bring
said,
the upgrades.
I said, oh, not even that. If we get more DNFs or some unfortunate incidents or I had a question for you. Now, of course,
Mhm.
it depends. It depends, right? But I wanna when let's say so Leclerc first.
Mhm.
Let's say Leclerc. I just call a scenario.
Yeah.
Leclerc, Max, Russell, Lewis, Perez, blah blah. Let's say that's the order. There's an accident, and they have to bring on the safety car.
Right.
Who? No, of course I know it depends, right? It's not they might be able to give a straightforward answer. Just asking off the top of my head. Who who will be the most I was the word I'm looking for, boy? Not disadvantaged, but the most aggrieved or most angered. Leclerc and or would it be that the one who's second will be like, right, again closer now because they all have to huddle up. They have to go back
Mhm.
into their positions or they will huddle up and kind of restart the race very close to each other. So
It's
second
all.
place will
It
be
all.
happy
It,
or first will be like, oh, I was going so well. This
it
incident come out
depends
of
on the gap.
nowhere.
It
Mm,
depends on the gap. If it is the person in first place had something like a 10-second, 15-second, or 20-second, 30-second gap, basically a whole pit stop gap to the person in second, trust and believe them will be cussing and fretting. Because so let's think back to Abu Dhabi.
right,
Lewis was
right.
miles ahead down the track.
Yeah, yeah,
He
yeah.
had lap cars between him and Max, and there was a time gap there too. And then safety car came out, bunch everybody up, put him right behind him. So in a situation like that, Max is ecstatic.
Yeah.
But in a situation like that, Lewis is cussing and getting on. Same thing would happen with Leclerc. But as he
Clear.
has a gap, who we think, but if it is they fighting right behind each other, then he wouldn't stress too much because it's not to say he had this big gap. It's more or less the same kind of thing. He just a little closer this time. So it depends on the circumstance. What is the gap between the drivers when it is the safety car came out, that kind of thing.
Yeah. Now, I only asked because I remember, I think Hamilton was upset when they had to bunch up for one of the safety incidents during Albert Park. And the team was saying, but we couldn't do anything about it, but he was real vexed. He was vexed. I think they put him in one time too. I think they called him in one time too, and they kind of threw him off there. So I remember that was, so I always say, I'll ask you, in that scenario, who
Yeah,
will
it
be
always
most
depends
frustrated?
on
Because they had
where
a bunch
you
up.
are
Yeah. Yeah.
and the type of race you're having. Because sometimes your momentum just building, eh? You get a rhythm with the tires. You fully understand where the grip of the tires are at that point in time as it wear down. And then, okay, safety car come out and they swap your tires. You have to catch back yourself in this new set of tires that you have on. Where is the grip? How is the tire feeling? That kind of thing.
So we have to big up our boy Linesh, right? Who is number one in our league, our one of our subscribers from Mauritius, doing really well. So let's see what he had here. His constructor was Ferrari. He had Magnussen, Stroll, Leclerc, Bottas, and Verstappen. So not a strong. Wow, I must say this is an interesting team because none of these guys got past what ninth place, except Leclerc, obviously. But because of the qualifying and because of the constructor,
Mm-hmm.
and again, you already had that big gap because this race week points was 181, right? Compared to some other teams that I know would have gotten way more than that. So not too bad. But again, congrats to him. He's on top of the standings, doing well. And of course, we have one of our brethren from Barbados doing well. Let me just mark his team real quickly. So right, his
What's
race
the
week
point
points is
difference between
236.
the two?
Sorry.
What's the point difference between two of them?
So Linesh is 711, no pun intended, and Ian is 700.
Okay, so only 11 points separating them,
Yeah.
boy. Wow.
And yeah, you could catch him. You could catch him. He ain't bad. 651. You
Nah,
right. Yeah, don't
them
laugh. Don't laugh now, bro. The way this thing going and you started, okay, you're right there. You can catch them. Right? Let
And
me
with
look at
that team in
my
particular, I use the Mega Driver yet, and that's
and
more
that
interesting to
and
watch.
Lanesh uses Mega Drive, but
Don
I have
uses
not
Mega
bust that
Driver
yet.
already.
Yeah, I ain't
And
bust
look at
that
your
yet.
brethren from Barbados. He's only
Yeah.
11 points behind him, and he
So
has
if
not used
he
his Mega Driver yet.
exactly. So if he take go out his thoughts and say, you know what up, Mega Driver, bad.
Is just to hope that their Mega Driver pay off that weekend.
But that is it. You know how sick you will feel. You Mega Drive somebody and the
Imagine
DNF.
you Mega Drive signs the Leclerc, well, the Mega Drives.
Yeah, you Mega Drive Leclerc. You say right. That's it, Leclerc. And they do
Well,
all the
I
research. Eh? You
Mega
see, this
Drive
was the yeah. Well, I mean, for now, that was a good thing to do. But doing it, waiting, do longer
yeah.
wait. The more pressure it puts on you,
Mhm.
and because you now study, go what if. Yeah, boy. I might Mega Drive Perez for a race, but I feel Perez is the man to Mega Drive. I'll watch
I
what
don't
going
know,
on in
you know.
practice, and I'll Mega Drive Perez soon, very soon. I'm talking maybe for Mexico, all kicks in October, Mexico. Why not? Mega Drive him.
Remember, you had two for you. You had two to use for this one in the Safa.
Yeah, so I might
And
as well. Might as well save one for. I'll save one for
then,
Russell for his championship race when you're gonna win the whole thing, and then I'll use one October for Perez. Right, I don't talk there. So
okay,
just want to show
okay.
you my teams real quickly. So team three, as always, is most sus looking team out of all of these. Always doing well. Sus because Haas is the constructor, right? And still outscoring
Yeah,
my
for
other
real.
teams. I don't understand how I do it, but I do. So on 526
Nah,
points
because
with
of
this.
them driver line, because of that driver lineup.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, but I'm my
And you
Ricardo at
realize
a
that's
point in time
DNF
too, right?
on the attack?
And I support Ricardo
That's
for
the
signs, eh?
DNF.
Instead of kept Ricardo. So I kept Ricardo, but that's all right. That's all right. That's life. We don't beat up, right? We don't beat up. Um, And then team two, 357 points in total. So at Sainz, Norris, Ocon, my boy Gasly, Bottas, Red Bull as the constructor. And then I had, of course, team one, 487 points. Ocon, Bottas, Leclerc, Perez, wrote in Alonso for Vettel. And of course, Ferrari, the constructor.
Yeah.
Right? So the me and all of these constructors had one person finishing and one not finishing, if you look at it. Right?
True.
All three of them had that incident in this race. One person didn't finish, or at least didn't finish in the top 10, and one did well, or one gained points, I should say. Right? So, of course, we get winding down there slowly. As we'll have our fantasy strategies, and we'll do a preview, of course, when next week Wednesday for Imola. Am I saying that correctly? For Imola, right? Italy. So you will give us that nice breakdown like you did for us for Albert Park next week, Mike.
No
Of
problem.
course, let me just know. I could bring up your team quickly. Let's bring up your team. Why not? You're representing us in the in the league and doing well. So let me and of course you have our Rabs league. We have to talk about that. We have
Yeah,
to
check
talk
out
about
the
our
Rams
Rabs, the panel,
because
Let's talk about the panel.
Antonio is the
And
man on top there, and I watch it that
Antonio is the man right
coming
now. Big up the
detail,
man, Antonio.
detail.
Doing well, doing well. So let's see who we had. So this week he had Ferrari as the constructor. Of course, his boy Bottas, Perez, he turbo drive Leclerc, and had Ocon and Sainz. So Sainz would have been the only blemish. And the other was good game week, good race week. Not bad at all. Not bad at all. Looking good. Let's look at Michael in our Rabs. So Michael second place. Right there. Right there. You're not far. Right there. If four of his drivers DNF you bad, just make sure you don't have four either. Ferrari, yes, Ferrari as the constructor. Fraud, eh? Fraud. Big Mercedes. I'm just joking. So Ferrari as the constructor. Bottas, Russell. Russell. I'm looking for Hamilton, can't find him, but Russell. Sainz, Leclerc, and Magnussen. So not too bad, just Sainz. Everybody would have had Sainz. The only blemish.
Yeah.
That's like today in the cricket, Anthony. Everybody would have Captain Livingstone. And sold. Yeah, boy, sold. It's feeling like that. It's feeling like that. I feel like I'm watching that right now. And of course, let's watch you in the fantasy pavilion real quickly, the general
Yeah,
league, because I think you're
check,
not too
check the
far.
pavilion.
I don't think you're too
Because
far.
that Mega
You're right
Drive
there,
I put
man. You're
on
eighth
Leclerc
place. Right.
with his
Let's
eight.
see. So you would so of course, so this would have been more or less the same team we just checked out,
Yeah,
team
it is
three.
the
So you
same
use
team.
team three for this one,
In
right?
team
So
two, in one other thing. I have two teams.
in
I
this
didn't
Yeah,
one, I think yeah.
I
yeah.
didn't put
If you
him
look at
on.
our second team that I have there, is where one of the teams I Mega Drive. Oh no. So of the three teams, my team two, I use it as my test team, and that's the teams I Mega Drive Leclerc on,
Right.
just to see
And
how this thing
we got to
works.
work out on a strategy, like when I cause and help the viewers out there, because I am still on the fence as to when to Mega Drive. I'm not too sure yet. I still working on that maths. But I say Perez looking like the best person only because I like how he's chasing and overall overtaking points. Because that's key. And Antonio
Mm-hmm.
loves to hear those words because I think that's a good strategy when you're constructing a team. Who is the best at overtaking and getting those points? So far, Perez, Russell, Hamilton doing it, the gaining. Of course,
So I
Max.
could share my
You
screen
can't.
and show you what my
Yeah,
teams
man,
is.
share your screen. You can't discount Max at all either, too. But the Grenadier
Yep.
Obia is strong. He's
The
on ages. Two
Canadian
DNF.
OBI is strong.
Real strong. Real strong. Right, I have you up
Let me
here.
see in there.
Yeah,
Right.
man.
So team one, if I had in hindsight, I should have probably turbo drive Leclerc as opposed to turbo driving
Science. Yeah.
Sainz, because instead of that being 10, it'd be -5. So that I end with 140, 145 as opposed to 140. But I think this was a fairly solid team. I
Yeah.
had to put
Yeah.
McLaren as the constructor so as to have everybody that I wanted. But yeah, I took a risk with our team. As I said, team two is where I use the Mega Driver, and look, from that alone I get 147 dots
Hmm.
because
Oh,
he
it's that.
started on pole, he got fastest lap, and he won the race.
Yes.
So I think
And he won the race.
that is the ideal time to Mega Drive. So I'm sorry I didn't Mega Drive
Yeah.
him in all my teams. But I feel like that I've been too risky because let something happen to him, and that's it.
Bro, you'll cry.
Um,
You'll cry.
exactly. And then it is in this team here, in team three. Um, well, we just saw that team. Manson, he didn't do that well this weekend, but I couldn't swap him out. I couldn't. That's it. I was trying to take him out and put somebody else in, but the way the money was going,
Yeah.
I was
For
like,
the
no,
budget.
I'll just
Yeah. It have no one
yeah,
else to
yeah.
replace for that budget. Yeah.
And
Yeah.
at the end of the day, he still finished the race and everything, which is not too bad. Yeah, he
Right.
didn't get no big star points, but I prefer to see green and I prefer to see red.
Correct. You're spoken like a true FPL fan there. Green arrows. That's what we like to see. Nothing else.
Yeah, but that,
Right?
that definitely Mega Driven makes a big difference. Because look,
Yeah.
the other teams made, well, Team 3 made 196, Team 2 made 140, but Team 2 with our Mega Drive made 247. So clearly, Mega Drive in the right drive on the right weekend could
Yeah.
get some
And
good
the
points.
right
And I
time.
probably could get
Yeah.
even more if it is at Turbo Drive Russell as opposed to Turbo Driving Science.
Mm, mm,
Because that 33 would have
mm,
then been 66. Because
mm-hmm.
is what? Turbo Drive is multiplied by 2.
Two.
Yeah, so that 33 would have been 36. Would have been
But I
66,
must say
sorry.
your overall points on each team pretty good though. Pretty decent. I still struggling to get 500 on all. I only have 500 on one. You are 6 something with all of them already. So not bad at all. Considering
Yeah,
that
try
Lanesh
remember.
and Ian on
A
700
real
already.
competitive is Antonio I want to
Ah,
beat, boy, but it's a long season,
yeah.
it's a hard time.
That's all right. You just don't want your money to go towards a Bottas jersey. I understand and I with you. I support you. I rather have money go towards a Russell. I understand. My money spent on a Bottas? Of course! Nah, boy,
I
officer.
don't mind. I don't mind. I don't mind. It's actually don't mind it spending on a Bottas jersey. If I had to give more money and then you see it go to buy a Max jersey, nah, then I go be real back.
Ooh, was a
Then
good
I
thing
be
I
I would-
don't
I
not in
would-
this league. It's a good thing I don't not in this league. It's a good thing. It's a good thing because we know that's what you wanted. We don't want it. Oh gosh. Right. Well, on that note, right, you would like to sign off. So guys, don't forget your content is out. We did our review of 32 yesterday for FPL. We did our IPL show earlier today with great insight yet again from Dino Antonio Shamir. And I'm just the host. I have no insight to give at all, but it was a real good fun episode one, very informative. Go check it out if you're playing the IPL fantasy. And if you're not, it have the daily fantasy league as well, which is pretty good. Give it a try. Try something new. Step out your comfort zone. Of course, Friday we'll be doing a very early show. We're looking at probably 10:30 or 11 coming out to do a free hit draft and of course a preview for game week 33. And I will explain to you why to not touch any Arsenal players. But we'll get into that as we get closer. So guys, have a good evening. Please be safe out there. Do not try what you see. As much as F1 is exciting, don't try it at home. Don't try it. Leave it for the professionals. Right? Go Wallerfield, try a go-kart, right?
Yeah, like that mash up.
Go Wallerfield, ask them to try a go-kart, and if you want a little thrill, that's it. But don't try it at home, guys, right? But please try a new sport. As you can see, we're covering almost everything. We're covering F1, we're covering cricket, the various different football leagues, Champions League, IPL, FPL, sorry, soon World Cup. Try something else, dabble in something. We're trying to build the sports, build encouragement, build viewers. So thanks so much for watching. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe. If you did well, DM me. Send us your points below in the comment section. Was your Mega Drive? If your Mega Drive for your Turbo Drive, did it pay off? Did you have the clear? Let us know what's going on. So you all be safe out there. Have a good Easter weekend, everybody, and be safe out there.